Hey guys, it's Candy. Welcome back to Our Family Nest. So I'm so excited to have you here with me today. I had posted on my Instagram, Our Family Nest, asking you guys to give me some ideas what kind of book videos you would like to see. Of course, I always want to do kind of like end of the month book reviews. That's something that I'll start. My first June book review video will be up next weekend. And I have other book videos I want to do, like read for 24 hours, read 7 books in 7 days. I just haven't had the time to do those yet. So when I asked you guys to help me come up with some book video ideas, and I had just got these new bookshelves, a lot of you guys wanted to see kind of like a bookshelf tour. And then also I'm going to give you a book haul of all the books that I bought in June, because there's a lot. Just don't tell my husband, but there is a lot. I probably bought more books in the month of June than any month yet this year. And I think it's because I got these new shelves and I went a little crazy. So here's what my bookshelves look like. So my book organization method is nothing too crazy. These books here all on the top in this first section, these are books that I have read already. I have some Ellen Hildebrand. I have my favorite book of 2021, Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier. I loved this series, the Friend Zone series. Hated this book. The rest of them on the shelf I highly recommend though. Of course, the Twilight series, my all-time favorite books forever and ever. I will never love any books more than this 4. Midnight Sun, believe it or not, as much as I love Twilight, I never finished that book. I just couldn't do it. So this shelf here actually looks a little messy, but I have a few books to add to it that I read in June, and then it's going to be full once I make that June review video. But my favorite books on this shelf would probably be Meet Me in Paradise. I really liked that one. And Every Summer After. Oh, Reminders of Him too. Loved that one as well. All right, coming down here, I got this cute little gal at Hobby Lobby recently. I just love her. And then I have the box set of A Court of Thorns and Roses. I haven't read any of these yet. I do want to read these this summer. And then the 5th paperback book comes out in September. I already have that on pre-order. This shelf here is all kind of like rom-com, chick lit, contemporary romance, whatever you like to call these type of books. Paperbacks that I have bought recently that I do want to read. They're all on my to be read list for the summer. I would say I'm most excited to read The Stand-In. This is definitely high on my TBR list. And then a couple of these shelves here, I just have some knickknacks until I get more books, which I'm sure won't take me too long. This shelf here, I have hardcover books that I haven't read. I would say I'm most looking forward to reading The Summer Place by Jennifer Weiner and The Homewreckers by Mary Kay Andrews. This one, it just sounds wonderful, but it's not getting the reviews that I hoped for. This shelf here is just a bunch of mixed paperback, no particular genre because we kind of have some historical fiction moved in with just dramatic fiction. Some of these I'm not even sure if I know exactly what they're even about, but I just put all of those together there with my Insta camera. All right, moving down here. Originally, I just had this shelf with these 2 little knickknacks, but this is some of the books that I've actually read in June. Not all of them, but I just wanted to keep them in a separate pile, and then once I do that video, I'll separate those. This is all the books that I bought in June, so we'll talk about those here shortly. This shelf here, you'll kind of see a little bit of a theme. We have Kristen Hanna, Ellen Hildebrand, Mary Kay Andrews, and there's actually one here by Robin Carr. Just paperbacks, kind of, I don't know, the styling of the books are a little similar. Coming down here, this is all the hardcover books that I have read in 2022. I would say on these shelves, the ones I recommend the most is Mary Jane. It's a coming of age story. Absolutely loved that one. And for a thriller, The Last Thing He Told Me was a huge page turner for me. And if you want an even more intense thriller, I love The Night Shift as well. All right, next shelf here, we have a bunch of hardcover books that I have not read. You'll see quite a few of the books that I've gotten from Book of the Month, as well as some other thrillers. If you guys want to try out Book of the Month, I actually have a link down below where you can get your first book for just $5. This shelf here is a whole bunch of paperbacks, mostly thrillers, I believe. Karen Slaughter's one of my favorite thriller writers. Her books have yet to disappoint me. And I also love Blake Crouch. I've heard Dark Matter comes highly recommended by anybody who loves thrillers. Moving down here, we kind of have a mixture of books. It looks like mostly thrillers. All paperbacks. Well, this one is actually nonfiction. I just put it there because it's a paperback. Let's see, looks like mostly thrillers until we get to Matthew McConaughey's book here at the end. I really didn't have anywhere else to put that book. Down here we have the start of another shelf of books that I've already read. This shelf down here, I just keep a basket of all of my phone cases. Some more knickknacks. These are some nonfiction books as well. And a little basket down here with nothing in it. So that's a quick bookshelf tour. Not a whole lot of thought was put into how these books are organized. Maybe as time goes on, I'll change and move things around more, but for now, this is working pretty well. So let's jump into all of the books that I purchased in June, which was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 books. Yikes. Filled a whole shelf. First one I'm going to share with you is Vacation Land by Meg Mitchell Moore, only because I'm in the middle of reading this book, and so far I really like it. I don't love it. I read The Islanders by the same author, and I really liked this book. This book takes place in the summer. On the back it says, "This summer in Maine you'll discover one beautiful house with a perfect porch for cocktail hour. 2 women reckoning with secrets their mothers kept from them. 3 children with ambitions of their own, and 1 new boyfriend so perfect he can't possibly be for real. 1 husband left behind in Brooklyn, and 1 father looking back on his life. Welcome to Vacation Land." So I'm really hoping to finish this book within the next day or 2, and I would recommend it as of right now. The other book that I bought in June that I actually have already read was My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. If you know anything about Tessa Bailey's books, they're very steamy. They include pretty detailed sex scenes, make-out scenes. It was a quick, fun read for summertime for sure. All right, let's grab the other 2 hardcover books here that I bought in June. The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hildebrand. This is one of her new releases. I think it just came out. Yep, June 2022. I sort of feel about Ellen Hildebrand as I do about Colleen Hoover. Their writing is so good. Their books always just look so appealing to me, but for some reason there always seems to be other books that I want to read more. But a couple people that I follow on Instagram have read this book already and very highly recommended it, said that it was even better than some of her other books that they read, so I was like, gotta get it. And it just says, fresh off a bad breakup with longtime boyfriend, Nantucket sweetheart Lisbeth Keaton is desperately seeking a second act. When she's named the general manager of the newly renovated Hotel Nantucket, a Gilded Age gem rescued from neglect, she hopes that her local expertise and charismatic staff can win the favor of their London billionaire owner Xavier Darling, as well as that of Shelley Carpenter, the wildly popular Instagram tastemaker who can put them back on the map. That was an extremely long sentence. This book, The Summer Getaway by Susan Mallory, never heard of the author, never even really heard of the book, haven't seen anybody review the book. I literally bought this book because of the cover, because it's gorgeous, it looks fun. I want to be this girl on the cover. So with her divorce settlement about to run out and a mortgage she can't afford, Robin Caldwell needs a plan for her future. She nurtured her family and neglected herself. But how is she supposed to think when her daughter has become the most demanding bride ever, her son won't even consider college, and her best friend is on the brink of marital disaster, and her ex is making a monumentally bad decision that could bring everything crashing down on Robin's head? Enough said. Sounds like some good drama to me. Confess by Colleen Hoover. Have no idea what it's about. Picked it up when I went to Target the other day because eventually I would love to have every single one of Colleen Hoover's books. Funny You Should Ask by Alyssa Sussman. Why did I buy this book? I bought this book because Haley Pham read it and she absolutely loved it. I believe she said that it was one of her favorite books that she had read recently. And there were a couple other people that I follow on Instagram. So this book says, alternating between Channy and Gabe's first meeting and their reunion a decade later, this deliciously irresistible novel will have you hanging on until the last word. So I know the girl is a writer and the guy is a movie star. So sounds nice. Okay, here we go with another book that I literally picked out because of the title and the cover. Georgia Clark's Island Time. What do we think it's about? It's a rom-com, moonlit beaches, crystal clear waters, steamy rainforest, love is in the air. This is one deserted island you don't want to be rescued from. Sign me up. Next book, are you guys catching on to the theme here? The Beach Trap, a novel by Ellie Brady. Two half-sisters, one messy inheritance. Try to get some good family drama in this one. And I just love when the name Blake is used for a female. Just love it. All right, we have The Wedding Season by Katie Birchall. Obviously, we can assume we know what this is about. The wedding season is the perfect antidote to recent stressful times. Like a glass of Prosecco, it's bubbly, fun, and over way too fast. Just sounds like a fun, heartwarming read. Again, purchased because someone else that I follow recommended it. Next up, Lease on Love. I honestly can't even remember how I found this one. I want to say maybe someone I follow on Goodreads, which, speaking of, if you don't follow me on Goodreads, I'll have the link down below for that. I keep it updated and share like all my ratings, and you can see that I have 80 some books on my shelves because I made like a bookshelf called Books on My Shelf to Be Read. So I can keep track of books that I want to read, but books that I want to read that I actually already own on my bookshelves, because it's hard to remember sometimes what books I've bought. Okay, after getting passed over for an overdue and much needed promotion, Sadie Green is in desperate need of three things: a stiff drink, a new place to live, and a one-night stand. But when an accidental mix-up lands her on the doorstep of Jack Thomas's gorgeous Brooklyn brownstone, it's too bad Sadie is more attracted to the impressive real estate than she is to the man himself. Interesting. So what's gonna happen? She's gonna pretend she likes the guy because she wants the brownstone, and then they're gonna end up falling in love. Wanna bet? I will say too, when it comes to Goodreads, I'm a pretty stickler about the rating of a book. It's really bad because I feel like, you know, not everybody's opinions are the same, but it needs to have like probably a 3.9 or above rating for me to buy it. Unless someone I know and trust highly recommends it, then I might go a little bit lower on that rating. So weird. All right, The No-Show, Beth O'Leary. This one just sounded so much fun. So these three women who are strangers find out that they all have one thing in common. They've all been stood up on Valentine's Day. And they find out they've all been stood up by the same man. So it just sounded really fun and entertaining. So that's why I got this one. I don't necessarily love to read this much rom-coms, one right after the other either. I definitely like to mix it up and add some thrillers in there, and you guys can see on my bookshelves I have a ton of those to pick from. Okay, Adult Assembly Required by Abby Waxman. There's some of these that I ended up picking up just kind of randomly because Amazon had that buy two get the third one free, or I forget, there was some Amazon sale. So that's how I ended up with some of these. This one says, Laura moves to Los Angeles to escape an overprotective family and the haunting memories of a terrible accident. After an unexpected and fiery setback, sorry, brand new apartment, she finds herself adopted by a friendly but unusual bunch of folks and installed in their lovely but illegal boarding house. Add a gorgeous housemate, a persistent ex-boyfriend, and a trivia team that needs saving from ignominy. And it's clear why Laura isn't really sure she's cut out for this adulting thing. Luckily for her, her new friends Nina, Polly, and impossibly handsome Bob aren't sure either. But if they all put their heads and hearts together, maybe they can figure it out. So it just sounds like a fun friendship type book. I feel like I don't read enough of those. Sometimes nothing bothers me more than like a Tessa Bailey book where the majority of the book is the whole cat and mouse game. Two people who really like each other, but for whatever reason, they won't allow themselves to get involved. And the whole book is like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. I want to kiss those lips. And she's like, oh my God, his body, he's so hot, but I could never. Like sometimes I'm like, my point is I like to find books sometimes that are not like that. I think that's why I'm enjoying Vacation Land so much right now, because it's not that typical. It's just some good drama. How to Fake It in Hollywood by Ava Wilder. So when I read what this book was about, I like books that are kind of like about celebrities, kind of like that behind the scenes look at what a celebrity's life might be like. It does say the banter and sexual tension between Gray and Ethan is fire emoji immaculate. So this one might have a little bit of steamy spice to it, which is fine. And last but not least, Set on You by Amy Lee. It says curvy fitness influencer Crystal Chen built her career by shattering gym stereotypes and mostly ignoring the trolls. After her recent breakup, she has little stamina left for men, instead finding solace in the gym, her place of power and positivity. And then enter firefighter Scott Ritchie, the smug new gym patron who routinely steals her favorite squat rack. So sparks fly, of course, right? I really need to halt my buying. On my Goodreads account, I also have a bookshelf titled books that I've pre-ordered, so you could even check those out, because I do have some books pre-ordered that will be coming multiple months throughout the year. There's not too many. I think there might be like 5 or 6 of them. But I mean, it could literally probably take me the rest of this year and all of next year to even remotely possibly get through all these books. Probably even longer than that. So do I need to keep buying more books? No. But will I probably? Yes. And again, look at these shelves. I still have lots of shelves to be filled. So it could be worse. I could be collecting like designer purses or something. Books are way cheaper than a lot of hobbies. I guess that's me putting a positive spin on it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My goal, if you haven't figured it out, is to post book content on my channel probably every Sunday, every weekend, most likely Sunday. And I'm always open to suggestions. Comment down below, follow me on Instagram, ourfamilynest, and my Goodreads account. So thank you guys so much again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.